Good evening and welcome to Express News with me, Deepika, your daily half-an-hour window that brings you 100 news and updates from the country and the world in just 30 minutes. Let's begin. The book called Wings to Our Hopes Volume 1 that compiles 75 significant speeches from the first year of President Draupadi Murmu's tenure was released in New Delhi today. India's Agriculture Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan released the e-book on the Indian President in presence of Information and Broadcasting Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw. The Publication Division of India has published the Wings to Our Hopes book. This book on India's President Murmu's speeches has been released in Hindi and English. India is fast emerging as a major defence supplier in the world. Armenian forces participating in the Eagle Partner 2024 military exercise were spotted wearing an India-made helmet-mounted thermal imaging monocular. The Armenian troops were spotted in the thermal imaging devices developed by Tonbo Imaging, a Bangalore-based Indian defence manufacturer. The consumption of natural gas in India went up 7.1% in the month of June this year compared to the same month last year, as more households across the country are using the fuel for cooking, as per Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. Second India International FinTech Festival was organized in Delhi, in which people associated with this industry were honoured. FinTech has an important role in making India a 5 trillion economy. India's ascent from the fragile 5 to the fastest growing major economy has lessons for other developing countries, according to Suman Berry, the Vice Chair of Niti Aayog. Eastern Indian state of Bihar's Chief Minister Nitish Kumar has called a high-level meeting to address the frequent crime incidents in the state on Friday. The meeting marks government's efforts to address opposition's criticism and prepare for Bihar Legislative Assembly session starting July the 22nd. Justice Nongmaikamam Kotiswar Singh and Justice R. Mahadevan today took oath as the judges of Supreme Court. The Chief Justice of India, Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, administered the oath to both the judges. Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri will be on a 2-day official visit to Bhutan from Friday. During the visit, Misri will receive an audience with the King of Bhutan. Supreme Court bench headed by Chief Justice of India, D.Y. Chandrachud, today started hearing more than 40 petitions alleging irregularities and malpractices in the conduct of medical entrance exam NEET undergraduate 2024. India's Supreme Court says the retest of NEET examination has to be on a concrete footing and that the sanctity of the entire exam was affected. Central Bureau of Investigation has detained 4 students of AIIMS, Patna, today in connection with the NEET UG entrance examination paper leak case. Delhi High Court on Thursday reserved order on a plea moved by Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, who is on a judicial custody in the alleged liquor policy scam, for granting 2 additional meetings with his lawyers through virtual conferencing. Karnataka government has paused and will further study a bill directing private firms in the state to reserve jobs for Kannada people. A gun battle broke out between security forces and terrorists near the line of control in Jammu and Kashmir's Kupwara district on Thursday. The encounter started near the LOC in the Keran sector of the North Kashmir district. 2 terrorists have been killed in the encounter, which is still continuing. It is in response to an infiltration bid on the line of control in Jammu and Kashmir's Kupwara district. The Dibrugarh Express travelling from Chandigarh to Dibrugarh derailed near Gonda in the North Indian state of Uttar Pradesh. Reports say 2 people have lost their lives in the incident. The investigation is currently on. In the South Indian state of Karnataka, restoration work is underway at the site of a landslide on National Highway 66 near Ankola's Shirur. 4 persons are dead and 3 are missing in the landslide. The iconic Vagnak or tiger claws used by Maratha warrior King Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj has been brought to India from London's museum on Wednesday. Maharashtra's Excise Minister Shambhuraj Desai said Shivaji's weapon will arrive in Western Maharashtra, Satara on the 19th of July and that security has been heightened. Comptroller and Auditor General of India Girish Chandra Murmu inaugurated the International Centre for Audit of Local Governance in Rajkot, Gujarat. Indian Navy's mission-deployed warship INS Teg rendering SAR assistance for the capsized oil tanker MV Prestige Falcon that has rescued 9 personnel including 8 Indians. The MV had capsized about 25 nm southeast of Ras Madraka, Oman on Monday, and SAR efforts in coordination with Oman authorities that are in progress since the next day. Indian Union Minister of State for Environment, Forest and Climate Change, along with External Affairs, Kirti Vardhan Singh on Thursday expressed condolences to the family of the bereaved in Oman. With anti-quota protest in Bangladesh getting violent, India on Thursday advised its citizens in Bangladesh to avoid travel and restrict their movements after 6 people were killed in protests over quotas in government jobs. A sharp surge in the afternoon session on Thursday pushed India's benchmark BSE, Sensex and NSE Nifty to record high levels. Sensex index topped the 81,000 mark for the first time. The Nifty 50 surpassed 24,800 in the intraday trade. 30 stock Sensex index ended at 81,343, up 627 points or 0.78% after hitting a record high of 81,522.5. The broader Nifty 50 ended at 24,801, up 188 points or 0.76% after hitting a lifetime peak of 24,838. The Indian rupee fell 7 paise to close at all-time low of 83.65 against the US dollar. Oil prices extended gains on Thursday. Brent futures rose 0.5% to $85.49 a barrel, while US West Texas Intermediate crude was up 0.8% at $83.54, with both having registered gains in the previous session. Asian equities fell Thursday following a sell-off in technology stocks on concerns that the US would impose tighter restrictions on chip sales to China. Stocks in Japan and South Korea dropped, with the Topix falling 1.2%, weighed down by a stronger yen. The S&P 500 fell 1.4%, while the Nasdaq dropped 2.9%, which is its worst day since 2022. Japan's Nikkei share average tumbled more than 2% on Thursday. Nikkei closed 2.36%, which is lower at 40,126.35 after falling earlier in the day to 40,104.22, which is its lowest since July the 2nd. US President Joe Biden returned to US state Delaware after testing positive for COVID-19 and cancelling a campaign event in Las Vegas on Wednesday. US President Joe Biden said that he would end his presidential campaign if it emerged that he had a medical condition. Biden, who is under fire from fellow Democrats to drop his re-election campaign. J.D. Vance, the millennial face of the MAGA movement, has vowed to return Donald Trump to the White House in his first speech since being tapped as the former president's running mate. 40 European leaders, including Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and French President Emmanuel Macron, posed for a family photo on Thursday during a summit hosted by Britain's Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Starmer took to the international stage once again, calling on Europe to do more to support Ukraine against Russia. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky called on Western allies to allow long-range strikes on Russia, in particular on military airfields. UK lawmakers continue to debate on government's plans for the country on Thursday. Britain's new Prime Minister Keir Starmer said that King's speech takes the brakes off our economy during a debate with Rishi Sunak in Parliament on Wednesday. Ursula von der Leyen won support from European Union lawmakers on Thursday for another 5-year term as President of the European Commission, the European Union's powerful executive body. 720-member European Parliament approved Leyen with 401 votes in favour, 284 against and 15 abstentions. Ursula von der Leyen needed 361 votes to pass. An explosion in Gaza on Thursday produced large clouds of dark smoke over the afflicted area amid the ongoing Israel-Gaza conflict. Israeli forces hit areas in the central Gaza Strip in their anti-terrorist operation, killing at least 9, while Israeli tanks carried out a limited advance further into Rafah in the south. Over the past 24 hours, at least 81 people have been killed and 198 injured in the Israel-Gaza conflict. The situation in Bangladesh appears to be turning from bad to worse. Fresh violence reported in Bangladesh with 4 persons being killed and hundreds injured in clashes between quota reform protesters and the police on Thursday during nationwide shutdown. 7 people have been reported dead in a building fire in France on Thursday. The victims include 3 children and 1 adolescent. The cause of fire is currently under investigation. Avian influenza, also known as bird flu, has spread to a second farm in Sydney's northwest, with emergency control zones established to curb the transmission of the highly contagious disease. Time to take a short break. We'll be right back.
As the world gears up for the biggest sporting extravaganza, Olympics 2024, we at DD India are all set to bring you reports, reactions and all the latest action from Ground Zero. Watch DD India's super exclusive show, Cheer for Bharat. Only on DD India from July the 22nd at 6:30 p.m. IST, 1 p.m. GMT. Get ready to cheer for Indian athletes at the Paris Olympics 2024.
Welcome back after that short break. Let's continue with Express News. Several states across India are bracing for a heavy downpour for the next few days. The IMD has issued red alert for extremely heavy rainfall at many places, including Kerala, Chhattisgarh, Telangana and Goa on Thursday. The flood situation in Indian state of Assam continued to improve as water level across major districts was receding. The Regional Meteorological Centre in Guwahati predicted no rains for the next 2 days for the Indian state of Assam. However, floods-like situation arised in Gopalpada after rise in level of Brahmaputra river. With heavy rain and gusty winds continuing to lash several parts of Kerala, the Indian Meteorological Department has issued a red alert in Wayanad district. Heavy rain disrupted the routine in South Korea, prompting immediate warnings throughout the country. More than 24 flights were cancelled as well as train services were halted to prevent accidents. Heavy rains in the Illinois state of the United States caused failure of the Nashville Dam. As a result, the streets were flooded with vehicles partially submerged underwater. North Macedonia, backed by firefighting helicopters from Serbia, battled a wildfire in a mountainous south region. The blaze near the town of Negotino scorched areas of bush and woodland close to the highway. The wildfires at Sequoia National Forest in California's Tulare County are spreading at an alarming rate. Spanish weather authorities have warned the residents to beware of the first heat wave of the season, with government starting an awareness campaign for working people. The Rusanda Salt Lake of Serbia dried due to extreme heat, while capital Belgrade recorded warmest temperatures of 40 degrees Celsius. Disneyland Resort cast members who are part of the Disney Workers Rising Union organization took to the streets to host a rally for a fair contract on the resort's 69th anniversary. Slogans among the signs being carried included "Mickey would want fair pay" and "Disney, don't be the villain" at the march in Anaheim near Los Angeles. The Sisters Outdoor Quilt Show is the world's largest outdoor quilt show, displaying more than 1,300 quilts representing fiber artists from around the world. More than 10,000 visitors from all 50 states and multiple foreign countries flocked to Sisters on the second Saturday in July. In unique, largest ever exhibition of its kind, more than 14,000 objects collected, created or customized by British hobbyists are on display, exploring UK hobbies. Titled "Come As You Really Are," the exhibition is held in Croydon's Grant Building, opens up on the 18th of July and runs through the 20th of October. A towering Stegosaurus dinosaur fossil standing at 11 feet tall, sold at Sotheby's, New York for a record-breaking $44.6 million, making it the most valuable fossil ever sold at an auction. The auction represents a significant milestone as it marks the first time at an auction house that has been involved in bringing a dinosaur specimen to market right from its discovery. Fossil bones found in Argentina of a large armadillo relative with cut marks suggestive of butchering, indicating humans were present in southern South America some 21,000 years ago. The new findings represent the oldest evidence of human interaction with large animals in southern South America during the height of the last ice age. An Egyptian board game aims to teach children about 6 Arab countries with resources in common, as well as those currently enduring crisis. The Zaghloul, who's the teacher, believes that children are best taught while playing and hopes that more children will take up educational games, especially the ones teaching them about their region and shared history. A great initiative by Japanese scientists to attach living skin tissue to robotic faces and make them smile, which is a big breakthrough that has a potential application in cosmetics and medicine. The smiling robot is the product of a decade of research by Takeuchi and his lab on how to combine biological and artificial machines. Actor Johnny Depp has turned to tarot iconography to inspire an art collection that goes on sale that includes a tribute to his former partner, French actor and singer Vanessa. Titled Tarot, the art collection comprises 4 pieces called the Lovers, the Empress, the Emperor, and the Strength, each nodding to the card imagery. The ever-charming Nikuti Gatwa, the latest Doctor Who, has made a jaw-dropping appearance at Madame Tussauds in London. After gracing the screens as the Time Lord for just one season, Nikuti Gatwa has been immortalized in the wax and his statue is ready to greet the fans from the 19th of July. Historical drama Shogun racked up 25 drama nominations to lead this year's contenders for television's Emmy Awards, but close behind was another FX Network's show called The Bear that earned 23 comedy nominations. Idris Elba was nominated as Best Actor in the drama segment for Hijack, while there was also a celebration of indigenous talent across the board. World's highest grossing concert tour has arrived in Germany. Taylor Swift is performing in the Western industrial town, jokingly renamed Swiftkirchen. A special Taylor town has been set up for the fans known as Swifties to exchange friendship bracelets, buy merchandise and have a good time ahead of the concert. Joe Russo and Anthony Russo, who have together helmed 4 of the biggest Marvel films of all times, including the last 2 Avenger outings, have been tapped to direct once again. One of the year's most anticipated Hindi films called Stree 2 debuted its first trailer on Thursday. Directed by Amar Kaushik, Stree 2 is a sequel to the runaway hit first film. The Akshay Kumar starrer Sarfira collections are shockingly low for a film that is led by one of the biggest stars of the Hindi film industry. Directed by Nag Ashwin and starring Prabhas, the epic sci-fi film called Kalki 2898 AD is now India's 6th highest grosser of all time. South Indian International Movie Awards is set to take place in September this year. Ahead of that, the nomination list for the season have been released with Rajnikant's film Jailer, Nani's film Dasara. The Kamal Haasan starrer Indian 2 showed no sign of resurrection after a poor first week in theatres. After unveiling multiple posters, the makers of the Dhanush starrer Ryan finally released the film's trailer that reveals Dhanush in a powerful, intense avatar as Ryan. Prime Video's Panchayat Season 3 becomes the most watched Hindi web series, clocking 28.2 million views during January-June 2024, followed by Netflix's Hira Mandi that recorded 20.3 million views. Newly crowned European champion Spain have risen 5 places to 3rd in the latest FIFA rankings published on Thursday after their 2-1 victory against England. World Cup winners Argentina held on to the top spot following their Copa America triumph, beating Colombia by 1-0. Argentina's vice president on Wednesday defended Argentina's national soccer team players who've been accused of racism after posting a video in which they sang a song about France players. La Liga club Real Madrid on Wednesday said that Croatian midfielder Luka Modric has signed a 1-year contract extension with the team. Philadelphia's Kevon Sullivan became the youngest player to debut in MLS and North America team sports history. Sumit Nagal exited the Sweden Open after he lost by 6-4, 6-2 to 4th-seeded Argentine Mariano Navone in straight sets in the round of 16 in Sweden. Ahead of the upcoming Paris Games, security officials in Paris have said that around 45,000 police officials will secure the opening ceremony that is likely to host around 300,000 spectators. Swimming Canada High Performance Director and National Coach John Atkinson has questioned whether the processes involved in reviews like that of the Chinese doping case are right, opposed to the processes simply being followed even if they are flawed. The finishing touches were made on the newly constructed temporary stadium at the Palace of Versailles grounds ahead of the Olympics, which begins in a week. And ICC will hold its annual conference in Colombo from the 19th till the 22nd of July. During the conclave, the ICC bosses will take stock of the T20 World Cup in the US and the West Indies and will also likely to discuss about ICC Champions Trophy to be hosted in February 2025 in Pakistan. That's all for this edition of Express News, but news and updates will continue here on DD India. So don't go anywhere, keep watching and keep tracking DD India for all latest news and updates from the country and the world. Thank you so much for joining us right now. Namaskar.